What's up, everybody? This is Caesar coming straight from the underground where we're innovating. And why are we innovating? Because we're closest to the problem and stand to benefit significantly from obtaining a solution to that problem. And boy, today I got a good one for you guys. So, building isn't just about trying to solve a problem, it's not about chasing trends, it's deeper than that. It's about getting to the source, getting to the truth. And today, I'm going to give you guys a mental model that I've been working on that will help you frame problems, get to that core, strip away the layers so that way you can get to the essence, the soul, and innovate and really build something that will go on and transcend time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, in front of you is something I like to call the Reality Inversion Framework. This is more than just a framework, it's a philosophy, it's a discipline in order to be able to innovate and build timeless products with soul. So, if we take a look at it, the first level of this funnel is the surface level. These are things like the mainstream, where most first time entrepreneurs build. They build chasing vanity metrics, they build framing a problem incorrectly or chasing trends. And as time goes on, the better you become, the more you think about it, you can unpeel certain layers. So on the right, that's what most people that have a decent orientation of really getting to that core truth start following. They start looking at the system, they start unraveling it. They look at it, their known components, the interconnection. You can also go down a step further where you see first principles, really breaking things down into components. But first principles, although it's a good framework, it's a good mental model, things go beyond that. I'm taking you to the edge of reality here with this framework. Now, like I mentioned, you can decompress, decompose, deconstruct, and overanalyze to a point where you'll get to that edge of reality. You'll get to immutable truth. Nothing goes beyond that. And the model that I have for you really represents and embodies that. For example, as you move down, you start peeling those layers apart, you hit a wall. And you can continue to go, but you can only get so far through the truth. That's the real message I want to get here is that at some point you get to the edge of reality and you can't move forward. Now you can chase that your entire life. Like I mentioned, you can apply the same process. You can decompose, you can deconstruct, you can overanalyze, and that might take you a little bit further down that level into the truth, but you're never going to get to the core. The truth is the truth. And not only that, at the edge of reality, that's really where innovation happens. Now, if you go beyond that truth, it's like pseudoscience. It's not pseudoscience, but it's another reality. The truth is a wall. It's a barrier. And going beyond that, like I mentioned, things start getting messy. Things start getting weird. The truth exists in something sacred where you go beyond that level and things stop making sense. Things stop making sense in that space where, like I mentioned, you can only go so far. And this is where it becomes a discipline because you have two options. You can operate here at the surface level, right? You can build your product, you can meet that shallow market need, or you can chase the truth further and further and spiral into this level of madness. And that's where the discipline comes into play. Knowing where that limit is, knowing where that edge of reality is, and being able to just finesse it enough in order to be able to extract that truth. Use it as a foundation in order to be able to build your products. So, for example, that happens at the edge. Going back to what we've been talking about, innovation happens at the edge. It happens at the edge of reality. Being able to deconstruct, 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 and hit that wall is the true discipline here, where you're taking all that information, you know the boundaries, you know the information you need to get, and having a tether back to reality in order to be able to create, be able to build, and build that product off of a sound foundation of truth. This is extremely important to really embody as a philosophy when it comes to innovation, right? Like I mentioned, you can only get so far by peeling off layers, deconstructing, over analyzing, and eventually over time, you will hit that level of truth. But beyond that, it's like mysticism. Nobody knows what it is. It's from another space, time, and dimension. And things start getting weird beyond the truth. We just don't understand that, and we're not building products in another reality. And like I mentioned, first principles is a good framing as well, but it only allows you to break things down into the components. We're going a level deeper. We're getting to the truth. And that's where soul and timeless products are made. That's where true innovation is made. So this reality inversion framework is really meant for you to expand your mind, open up, really orient, and really think that things go down deeper. They hit a wall, they hit that bedrock of reality. And that's the essence, that's the ether, that's the soul of that concept. And once you get to that foundation, you're really at the edge. You're really learning the concepts, the fundamentals, and you're really taking that information and building upon a solid foundation. And then you bring it up, right? So you go down, you decompose, you hit that wall where the real discipline comes in, and then you move back up. That's where you bring that innovation. You create, you build, and you use that as your anchoring point in order to be able to really bring that and build timeless products. Like I mentioned, this mental model is more of a philosophy. It's more of a discipline. It's more of a way of thinking whenever it comes to building products, innovating, and really trying to break beyond that surface level. But like I mentioned, there's always that risk of going down further and deeper and spiraling into this level of madness and really going beyond the edge. Real innovation happens at the edge, not beyond the edge, because beyond the edge, who knows what the hell that is, right? It's like I said, it's distortion, it's madness, it's consumption. And to be able to have that discipline, that hard barrier to be able to take that innovation, bring it back up, and build is a real sacred space, especially moving in technical fields, creation, and all these other things that really bring life to the product. Now, like I mentioned, the reality inversion framework is a mental model, something to embody as you move through your product development journey. Now, in the next video, we're going to go a little bit more deeper into how we can use this reality inversion framework, really getting to that source truth, the raw, the ether, really the existence, the edge, in order to be able to bring that back and build better products. So, like I mentioned, this is a really profound concept, a really good anchoring point whenever it comes to creation, whenever it comes to building, whenever it comes to innovation. Really using that reality inversion framework as an anchoring point. You don't want to build at the surface level. Surface level things are forgotten. They pass. They're weak, they're shallow, they're fragile. And moving further, you can get down deeper to a point where you can use first principles to deconstruct things into their components, but there's always a level further. There's the truth, the essence, the ether of that concept, that reality, or that component that really embodies that true fundamental principle of what it is. That's the edge of reality. That's where innovation is built. That's where innovation is born. And as underground innovators, that's what we're chasing. That's what we're trying to hit. But remember, you can always go further and spiral into madness. That's where the discipline comes into play. Having that awareness that you have met the edge, because at the edge, you can spend your whole life going forward and never accomplishing that. But bringing that fundamental truth back up to the surface and building with it really lays the ground for innovation, for something special, something timeless, something with soul to emerge. So, like I mentioned, in the next video, we're going to talk about how you can build your products with soul, how this reality inversion framework fits into the bigger product development process. And oof, it's going to be a good one. So, with that being said, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys operating at the edge of reality? Are you guys spiraling into madness? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.